Hey guys, and welcome to the Prim Short Stays UK podcast, where we interview corporate and industry leaders in the property management and hospitality sector. I'm quite delighted to have our guest today, Dale Anderson, who's the managing director for Fabric Properties, and we want to kind of learn a little bit about the company and explore his story. And then obviously we want to ask the fun and tricky questions as well about the industry. So welcome, Dale. Really, really excited to have you here. I would love for you to start off and maybe let us know a little bit about yourself. Obviously, I know you're a South African like myself, but we want to know a little bit about how did you come about? How did you get into this industry?
Sure. Thanks for having me, Kylie, and thanks for the introduction. I moved to the UK when I was early 20s, probably about 21. I started off working just random jobs, like even packing food in factories, things like that, night shift. Didn't have much money. And then I started to see speak to people about property investments in the UK and real estate as a career. So I started off in a estate agency. I then started working on a company that was selling Spanish real estate, overseas property investments. And then about 15 years ago, I got into UK property investments, and then started Fabric Invest with Fabric Property Group just before COVID started. So became the managing director of the company, and we specialize in new build, off-plan, HMOs, so all types of different buy-to-let investments. And then we put the integrity and the ethics at the front of what we do, just to make sure that the investors get the right information and we do the due diligence that they deserve, so that they get good deals. So that's pretty much a brief summary.
Wonderful. And tell me, was this always something that you were passionate about, state property management, HMO, or was it just something that kind of like you went into it and hit the ball rolling?
Yeah, I think where it really got exciting for me when during the recession in 2009, I managed to work my way up the ladder within a trading floor. We started with like 5 people. We grew the company to about 100. And I started to be able to afford to make some property investments myself. So, that for me, I was trying to like make all different types of investments in my late 20s, early 30s, and the main one that worked the best was the UK. It was the most reliable, so I made some good capital growth, and that enabled me to then sort of pivot and get more active in a directorship role, which I'm in now, where I've got more control over like which projects we're selling, which properties we're recommending. But yeah, I'm very passionate about real estate. I've bought property in different places like Brazil, South Africa, Philippines, and it's something that I've done for the last almost 19 years now. So pretty solid track record. Yeah.
Absolutely. And is this something that if like say for example I want to get into real estate, I'm passionate about it. Is it something that you had to study for, or did you have a good mentor?
So I had good mentors, and I got training on the job effectively in the UK. So you have to start off as like a junior consultant within an estate agency practice. But unlike, for example, in South Africa, you have to get like all your compliance and your license, and you actually have to do a paid course. You can get like apprenticeship roles, and then just kind of work your way up from the bottom by getting training. Also, then getting qualifications through things like for anti-money laundering processes, so you understand that. Working closely with solicitors, tax specialists, and things like that. Eventually, you gain the knowledge. So it was mostly on the job training and investing myself.
Wonderful. Well, that's really exciting. So, ultimately, if I wanted to do it, I could, which is really, really good.
Yeah, that's it. It's also going on YouTube and stuff like that, watching videos and just self-educating courses and things like that. That helps as well.
Yeah, today in today's world, maybe back in the day for our parents, it was a bit more challenging. Right now we have like all these amazing short courses and, like you said, YouTube. I
Yeah,
think we
that's it.
all learn a bit from, and now you've got these podcasts with interviewing with people like you that's an expert in the field and helping individuals or other entrepreneurs wanting to scale their business in the UK with property management. So as some of you may know, obviously from Short Stays, we do specialize in providing comprehensive management services tailored to the needs of property owners and investors. So we focus more specifically on short term, right? So tell me a little bit about, Fabric Properties. What is your if I had to look into the business from above, walk me through a little bit about like that specialty. Why Fabric Properties?
So, firstly, I think we take a very data-driven approach. So we educate clients before we put them into any specific projects. Not one type of property is suitable for everyone. You may be suitable if you're more of like a passive investor to buy an off-plan or new build property. You can put a deposit down. You can pay the balance at completion. It comes fully managed. It's got all the latest bells and whistles in terms of a build warranty. Or if you want to be more of an active investor, you actually might want to buy some land or commercial property to redevelop. So we've got two parts of the business that service both of those. So we're whole of market, and we do educate the clients first, to really get to build a relationship with them and understand what their requirements are and what's actually going to be suitable for them. Like, why are you buying this property? Is it for retirement? Is it for your kids? Is it so you can retire early and get a passive income? Once we know that, and we've been through that process with them, then of course we can point them in the right direction, where most other companies kind of say, well, we're earning the most commission on this specific property, let's sell them that, right? Rather than really understanding what their plans are and then directing them from there into the right project. So with so many years of experience and experts on the team, we've got different departments in the business that deal with different types of property investment.
I love that, Dale. I mean, honestly, it sounds like you guys take a very informal but formal approach to the uniqueness of what they want to gain. And I, for one, have property also, so for me, it was all about that retirement planning. If you're from South Africa, everyone will know the pension fund is not the greatest
Yes.
in SA, and I saw my grandparents suffer and my parents also like not thinking about future plans and ultimately. So is that basically where, like, if I wanted to invest, but I don't know where to start, and I want to get interested in property, is that where I would contact you guys?
Yeah, so you maybe got some money, so maybe it could be anywhere from say 30, 40,000 pound up to 300,000 pound, or 500,000 rand, so somewhere around there. But I mean, you can make money in property without having money by getting involved, maybe introducing people who want to invest and making a commission or doing those kind of deals. But realistically, if you just got some savings and you want to invest, you can come to us. We'll discuss what it is you're looking to achieve, and then we'll help you map out not just the next one purchase in next year. We'll help you over the next 5, 10, 15 years to build a portfolio and let you know what taxes to consider: capital gains tax, inheritance tax. We've got specialists who can help with the structure. You might be working offshore, so you might be worried about, am I going to get taxed in the UK and the UAE or South Africa, wherever it is, and then we can help with those structures as well. So it's a 360-degree service for the investors, which, especially if you're busy or this is not your line of work, maybe you're a doctor, surgeon, or you work in the oil industry or tech, you can come to us and we'll kind of take care of everything for you.
Wonderful. I love that. Really, really exciting, Dale. So tell me a little bit. We want to kind of, I'm asking of, some of the questions that we receive. Maybe you can answer one of those, and that would be, how, in your opinion, do you feel the real estate market has evolved in the recent years, particularly in the, long-term or short-term accommodations?
Yeah, it's definitely evolved. We are finding, because property prices and construction inflation's gone up in the UK, we're getting clients now looking for better higher yields than your typical. Maybe in Manchester you can get 4 or 5%. Some of our clients through Airbnb platforms like Airbnb and Booking.com are achieving 80% occupancy. They're achieving anywhere from 70 to 140 pound a night, for example. in these northwest cities, and there's huge demand. So they'll get like 75-80% occupancy per year. So I think the traditional residential model has definitely changed, because since Airbnb came out, we have technology, we got software to manage things and streamline the processes, and it is easier now to do short-term lets than it was before. However, of course, one needs to consider government legislation like planning permissions, and whether make sure there is permission to do short-term lets. So some people prefer less risk, I guess, so they just stick to normal AST rentals. But if you're looking for higher yields, the short-term let market's performed really well. I mean, we've sold over 300 apartments, I'd say, in the last 3 or 4 years, and probably I'd say 30% of those clients are currently using short-term lets for their investments.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, of course, and we have seen that, and then ultimately, I mean, our clients are those short-term let, sort of typical, wanting to, grow their return on the investment. It also gives them flexibility as well. I think that for me, that's the most important as well. I like that I can have my property. I mean, I've got property also in Australia, so when I want to do trips there, I know that I can go because it gives you that flexibility, right? So that's really awesome. But I do understand maybe when you're someone that is less able to do that, then long term might work for you. But of course, I want to ask another question, if I may. What do you feel like? What is the role of estate agencies, or if I should say, what are the role of agencies playing in supporting landlords versus, what you guys would be doing?
So I think there's two things there. You've got the companies who provide the investments or the properties, which we do. We vet them, we make sure they're up to a decent build specification. But a management company like yours can obviously give the landlord guidance. So if maybe they are currently on a long-term rental, if they wanted short-term rentals, we could put them in touch with the short-term let operator. I mean, that's your guys' sort of expertise, right? But we can certainly, from a knowledge perspective, we can help with the market insights and the guidance, regulatory guidance, and things like that. So it's important we understand these things. But I think it's very important that there is a good quality management company. It's not just about buying the property; it's what happens after you buy the property, especially if you're living overseas, right? So yes. I think that's very important to maximize the return and increase the occupancy, in my opinion.
Oh, wonderful. No, I'm glad. And I fully agree with you, Dale. And do you think that AI, or I mean, technology is something that we all effectively use to translate our businesses, maximize communication? Walk me through a little bit about how you feel AI or the new evolving world will affect your industry. And if so, or maybe you don't think it will affect it at all.
Yeah, I definitely think it will. I'm actually very enthusiastic about the prop tech industry as a whole. I believe it's going to help solicitors, it's going to help management companies streamline things, because it's just going to help manage the data better, I think. From a technical perspective, it will help with things like compliance, regulation, and also guest management. I do think if they have a positive experience, they're more likely to return. And with the new software coming out, you can run these management companies remotely, as long as you've got it set up correctly. It's a lot easier now to do things using the AI and get the answers and manage the data compared to what it used to be. So I think for guest management and for property management companies, it will definitely help. And also from our side, it will help with getting the data we need to make the necessary accurate, or as accurate as can be, forecasts for the rents. Whereas before it was a lot of guesswork. It was a lot of guesswork, yeah. And I think the AI is going to take a lot of the guesswork out. Hopefully, it won't make us lazy, but it's a very, very, very interesting stuff coming out in the next year or so, I believe. Software and things like that.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a lot of software out there like Guestflow and all your other PMS systems and things like that in place as well to manage these things, especially when you've got a big portfolio of like 10 plus properties, right? Then those are always good. I love the word that I'm going to use now, and I hope that it's also a good word for you, but sustainability. We're living in a world where sustainability is something that's major for everybody. How would you say, are you sustainable in the way that you are running your business or taking an approach to property buyers? And that can be something small like your eco-friendly properties, planting
Yeah.
trees in the properties. Walk me through it, Dale.
We're definitely very passionate about buildings that have green credentials. So things like energy performance rating. The government's now implementing legislation to keep your energy rating. I think it's nowhere above B or C, which is important because we need to think about the planet, especially when you have children. Then you start to think more seriously about these things. So, sustainable build material. I love new build, even though it's getting a bit expensive. Just the pure fact that there are more energy efficient buildings, and there's new modern methods of construction to ensure sustainability, and also projects like Dockside Residence in Liverpool. You sort of got carbon neutral footprint there because of the way they've developed the project, and that means it's a net carbon zero building. So it's not, it's technically not harming the climate or anything like that. Plus, you're going to save on your running costs and your bills because it's energy efficient. And they've implemented things such as the heating systems, air pumps, things like that, which can definitely help reduce the carbon footprint. So we're all about sustainability, and we do promote projects with good green credentials as well.
Oh, I love that, Dale. Thank you very much. And you know what? Just I didn't have any doubt, honestly. I've had a look at some of your developments and things, and done some wonderful work, honestly. So tell me about, like, obviously we're all visionaries seeing the future. We want to live in the moment. We want to forget about the past. But we want to focus on the future. Where do you see Fabric Properties in the next, and I don't want to say 5 to 10 years because I feel like that's a bit long. The next, let's say 12 to 3 years, right? 12 months to 3 years.
12 months to 3 years. I was going to say 12 years to three
I
years.
mean,
Okay, 12 months to 3 years. That's cool. So 12 months, yeah, I'd say we are planning to expand our reach. So of course we have office in operations in the UK and London. That's where all our operations team is. It's good to have them on the ground. If there's any problems with the property, they can go there and they can meet them. My business partner Steve, if there's any clients have any issues, he's the CEO of the group. He'll personally take care of it. So we definitely take customer care at the heart of what we do, and I think that will set us apart. We are implementing as well, a slightly different approach when it comes to selling property investment. We're not just going to try and do a fancy off-plan event and try sell you a shiny overpriced tower. We are taking more of a strategy where we fully understand what your needs are. But in terms of the future offices in the UAE, potentially, so I've got some events coming up in Qatar, Istanbul, Cape Town, Cairo, and Lagos. So really just helping take the footprint of the company a bit more global and partnering with affiliates in those regions. So that's it for me. I'm very also interested in, PropTech and how they can help improve things moving forward and help investors make better decisions. So, watch the space.
love it. I will definitely be watching this space. Thank you very much. I guess that leads me to my last question for you, Dale. I mean, look, our time has gone by so quick. So what is your advice for any other managing director in your industry? What is the advice that you have gathered in the time that you've been working for 19 years in this industry?
So I've been through recession first, and then I've been through COVID crisis. What I'd
Yeah.
say is don't run before you can walk. You need to build your team slowly and strategically. At the end of the day, the people that you hire is effectively going to be your brand and representing your company. So you do need to make sure that they have the support and the training that they need, as well as the resources and the tools to operate. I also believe as a company now, if your staff cannot, work at least hybrid or semi-remotely, then you need to find new staff. And people are now looking to have a bit more flexibility. They don't want to be stuck in the office from 8 till 6 anymore. So as long as you getting your work done, meeting your targets and your KPI, it's very important from the start that you get your systems and your operations in place, because that's, I've learned the hard way. You need to make sure you do that, and not just hire a couple of good people, get the team right, especially the management team, before you kind of just set up a business. And you've got to watch your cash flow. So start off building slowly and then pivot at the right time, and watch market conditions. You need foresight, because the UK may be great now, but then things might change. You've got to look at different markets, and what's going to be in demand, because if you don't have a product that's in demand as well, then you're going to struggle. So I think people, systems, software, and having the right product and the right team in place is very important. So that would be my advice for any other managing directors out there.
Oh, no, I like that. No, I fully agree with you. We're actually in systematic procedure of changing up few systems, and oh man, it can be very stressful when when you're doing that. So I like that. Systems, people, software, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was the
Yeah,
flow.
that's it. The operations part, because you kind of get excited and you're like, oh, I've got a great project. Let me buy loads of leads off Google, and you're spending thousands of pounds on leads, but then you realize the leads are coming into the system, and you don't have the right kind of marketing funnels, so you've got to get your infrastructure right, and your vision as well. I think everybody needs to be aligned on what the vision of the company is, because you may have, like any group setting, if there's difference in opinion or vision, and you're not sailing in the same direction, that can also be an issue. So that's my advice.
Thank you, Dale. We appreciate advice. Any advice is good advice, right? I mean, are we going to take it? I don't know.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah,
we
yeah.
have
Oh,
to
yeah.
learn, but ultimately love that. So I'm someone that's interested in getting in contact with Fabric Properties. I want to learn more. How do we make contact with you?
So initially, you can go to our website, fabricinvest.com, K at the end, invest.com. Of course, you can get in touch with me directly. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find us online. So we do come up, at the top of Google and things like that. But yeah, go to our website. Contact details are there. We've got quite a few articles online and stuff. And then just get in touch. You're more than welcome to put anybody in touch with me if they're interested, and I can put them in touch with the right people in the company, or if I like them, I can deal with them directly as well. So so that's it.
Wonderful. Oh, Dale, it has absolutely been such a pleasure. I really enjoyed our conversation. I enjoyed our first conversation. I enjoyed this conversation. Always, always insightful. And I'll leave Dale's details, how you can get in contact, in the bios. And please like, share, and subscribe, everybody. And thank you very, very much for your time today.
Thanks, Kylie. Take care. All the best.
You too.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.